This is Talk Wrestling 47. I am Jeff Meacham. Thank you all for watching last week. Got the plug on for the website today, even though it's got lasagna stains on it because I'm a messy eater. Yes, I had pasta. No, I shouldn't. But you know what? I've been good all week. I've been on a diet since freaking January 1st. And I've been on that stupid Wii Fit over here in the corner. It's been dogging me every time I come over here. I don't want to go on it today because I'm sure I've gained like 5 pounds since I was last here, which was only Royal Rumble. It's sad. Anyway, on to better topics than that. Let's talk about the current state of TNA wrestling for a moment. I've had the chance to watch Impact here and there in the last few weeks, and it seems to me their quality is going down again. You notice the X Division has been greatly underappreciated once again, very underfeatured again. I believe Alex Shelley's the X Division champion. I wouldn't swear to it on a Bible, but I'm pretty sure he is. I think he won the title at the January pay-per-view. Could be. Don't know. And you got guys like Jimmy Rave and Petey Williams, both of whom have been released, as well as Lance Rock. The morale in general seems very low. Booker T is supposedly becoming a prima donna, won't do jobs. Very much becoming big-headed like he did when he was in WWE toward the end, when he had that big thing with Batista, although Batista was the big head then. Booker T didn't help matters, I'm sure. TNA is becoming very poor quality again. You've got it's sad. You've got a whole lot of things going on that don't seem to make sense. Mick Foley's kind of thrown in there, and Jarrett is kind of thrown in there, and the world champion Main Event Mafia is kind of thrown in there, and AJ and Samoa Joe and all them are kind of thrown in there, and it just seems very convoluted and very confused and very clusterfucky, if that's even a word. I happened to watch the show last week. I'll talk about the main event of that show in a few minutes. But it's very just not what I've seen from TNA in the last year, and it disappoints me. TNA has gotten so much better, and now they seem to be dying down again. They seem to be kind of faltering and not being up to specs of what they were. I'm not a fan of it right now. Let's talk about the WWE Hall of Fame inductees this year. Excuse me. We don't know who the inductors are, except we know that this year, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, the Hall of Famer himself, will be inducting 2 brothers into the Hall of Fame, Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. I'm very excited about that. I like the Funks. I always have liked the Funks, especially Terry. Terry is one of my all-time favorites. I liked him in ECW. I liked him when he was with the NWA, when he was feuding with Flair. That's where I first discovered Terry Funk, when he was feuding with Ric Flair. And he's a crazy old son of a bitch, and he's awesome, and I love him to death. And he was a guest on XM or XMV, Aaron? XM, okay. Couldn't remember how far back we went. Back in the day, he interviewed us. We interviewed him before breakfast. That's how early we got him up in Texas. We were taping for him, and he got up and did an interview with us before breakfast. That was so nice of him, and I'm very happy he's going to the Hall of Fame. Dory Funk, of course, is a legend, former NWA World Champion, trainer of many, including in the WWE dojo for a long time. And he's a phenomenal athlete as well, phenomenal talent, and very excited to see Dusty Rhodes induct both of them in the Hall of Fame. And of course, they announced this months ago, but Stone Cold Steve Austin was the first inductee named. They're in Texas. It's going to happen. Don't know who's going to induct him yet. There's rumors it's going to be Ric Flair. It could be Jim Ross. It could be Aaron Rift, for all we know. You never know. But there's other rumors going around. The Von Erichs are going in. Cowboy Bill Watts. Various Texas people are going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. It is in Texas. It's in Houston this year for WrestleMania and for the Hall of Fame, and the night after WrestleMania. They're doing that again like they did last year for WrestleMania 24. The Hall of Fame is going to be in the same arena as Raw the night after WrestleMania, so they're trying to pack people in for the Hall of Fame, because the previous few years, Hall of Fame was like in a little intimate setting, like WrestleMania 21's Hall of Fame was at the Universal Amphitheater, where there wasn't a whole shitload of people. There was enough people, obviously, to chant Hogan for 20 minutes, like I did, but they're interesting to see who they include. I got a feeling the Von Erichs are going to be in there, probably even the Freebirds, because they were legends in Texas, and maybe Cowboy Bill Watts. We'll see. I mentioned earlier about TNA's morale and whatnot, but I want to talk about real quick about the Sting and Angle feud. This is stupid. The whole thing is just ridiculous. Pardon me, I can't see. These are my new glasses, by the way. I mentioned them last week. My doctors check out my eyes, and I have a slight astigmatism in this eye, I believe. And I put the glasses on, and literally, I'm looking at the camera right now. It's looking like regular TV, like kind of fuzzy quality, kind of crappy quality. And, oh, wait, high definition. I can see you guys. I can see you in the camera right now. Look, hey, don't flip me off, son of a bitch. Put that finger away. Anyway, Sting and Angle. They had an empty arena match last week. Why? And the whole thing of the Mafia broke them up, they made peace, and all Angle spits in his face. If Sting doesn't want to be in the main event Mafia in the storyline, why is he in the main event Mafia? Let Angle have Nash and Steiner and all those guys be his back, and let Sting be on his own. Sting was always a lone gunman, man. Always. He was much better off that way. He did it perfectly in WCW. He's done it well in TNA. Never had too many friends in TNA. And now he's part of some big super faction. It doesn't make sense to me. It was like when Sting joined the Wolfpack and joined the NWO. It didn't make sense to me. You know, Sting is better off on his own as a ultra babyface. Get him out of the Mafia. It's so ridiculous. And if he's still the world champion, fine. Honestly, and I hate to say this because I'm so sick of the fact that they're touting him as a 12-time or whatever world champion, let Kurt Angle be the world champion. Let him get his way, and then let Samoa Joe or AJ Styles, somebody that deserves to be champion. Because honestly, Sting, at this point in his career, does not deserve to be champion. He's way too old and way too past his prime to be a world champion. Let Joe or AJ or any of those guys that deserve to be world champion take it away from Kurt Angle. Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho. He's been feuding with the legends. He had an incident with Roddy Piper, with Ric Flair. I'm waiting for Hogan to come out and just pop him in the mouth and, give him the, this and, the Hulk up and the big boot and the leg drop. But I don't think that's going to happen as long as Hogan had the celebrity wrestling, which McMahon said, nobody who ever worked for that will work for my company again. I don't know. It could happen. But Jericho's been popped in the mouth now. He's assaulted Roddy Piper in the hip for no reason. Piper shot on him. That was really cool to see Piper basically shoot on Jericho and tell him what's what. That was awesome. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the whole direction it's going. If Mickey Rourke does end up fighting Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, then it's worth it. We'll see if Mickey Rourke, by the time you read this, by the time you see this, Mickey Rourke will have won or lost the Oscar. We'll talk about that in the next coming weeks, but we'll see what happens with Mickey Rourke in WrestleMania. Hopefully he's involved in some way. I want to see him just, beat the crap out of Jericho and use that training he got for the wrestler to its full advantage. And one can only wonder what will happen. The 2009 WWE Draft has been announced. I wanted to talk about that real quick as we move on in the show here. It seems they're going to have the night after 8 days after WrestleMania, the week after WrestleMania, early this year. They did that once before, a couple times before. For 2004, that was the first draft, was 8 days after WrestleMania. And if the past is any indication, the draft will shake things up. You had both world titles switch hands as a result of the draft one way or another. This last year, you had the WWE Champion be drafted to SmackDown, and the world title went back to Raw because the newest Raw talent beat the SmackDown World Champion, Edge, CM Punk I'm talking about, of course, and stayed on Raw with the world title. Right now, you've got both world champions being SmackDown superstars, so we'll see what happens as a result of WrestleMania and then the draft. Maybe we'll see a world championship go back to Raw, or maybe we'll see him switch again. You just never know what's going to happen with the draft. Personally, I'd like to see Christian get drafted away from ECW, whether he's ECW champion or not. Let him get drafted away and be on one of the bigger shows. That's where Christian belongs. Christian's been a main eventer for the last 3 years. And even before that, he should have been main eventing in WWE, but WWE wouldn't give him the opportunity. Let him have his chance to shine. He will do wonders for ratings. He will do wonders for on-camera quality. Christian will make things better on Raw or on SmackDown. Give him the chance. That's all I ask of WWE. Another Legends rumor regarding WrestleMania. Since Stone Cold Steve Austin is getting inducted, there's rumors that he will be involved in a huge match at WrestleMania this year between himself and the immortal, the legendary Hulk Hogan. Does WWE need them at this point? they seem to be doing okay without Hogan and Austin being the forefront, so to speak. We were talking about Hogan and Austin 4 years ago, back when Austin was in better ring shape and Hogan wasn't better. I mean, Hogan had a phenomenal match with Shawn Michaels that year at SummerSlam. Hogan since has, not been, training like he used to, as far as what I see. Hogan did the Celebrity Championship Wrestling thing. He's been living with Brooke after the divorce and the whole incident with Nick and everything. I don't see a need to have that match. I think that match's time has passed. And it's not really necessary to, bolster WrestleMania. WrestleMania is going to get buy rates no matter what, because the name WrestleMania is on there. You don't need to add too many star attractions. Go with the current crop of roster that you have. Go with the people that have built you all the way from the previous WrestleMania to now, and stick with them. Thank you very much again for watching the show today. I know it's a super short show today, but I had a lot to cover, and I wanted to get through it quick. New questions. Finally, the inbox is rebacked. Wow. Sounds like ringback, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. The inbox is once again open. I'm going to clear the inbox as of last week's taping. It's cleared out. So you can email me your questions at myspace.com/Jeff Meacham. Not Yahoo anymore, because I get too much stuff in my Yahoo inbox to deal with, work-wise and school-wise and everything else-wise. So just the MySpace this time, myspace.com/Jeff Meacham. If you do not have a MySpace account, what can we do with you? I will open up the YouTube comment board for the first time. Post your questions there, and I will find it. Put your name, so I know what your name is. I'm just reading off some random YouTube name. Same thing with MySpace. Give me your actual name. I don't want to read off some random MySpace name. I'm sorry?
Video responses.
Yeah, you know what? If you want to send a video response, by all means, feel free. I will try to watch them. I haven't been able to the last 2 years, but I will do my best. I'm sure Aaron will watch them. Aaron has a lot to do on his mind, but he'll take the time to watch the video response. If there's a particularly good one, I'll respond to that. If you have a question, you can put it in your video response, and I'll try to answer it as best I can, okay? YouTube.com/NoDQCAW. You can find all the episodes of Talk Wrestling. They're finally back up and working, as well as some past No DQ videos, including XMV stuff, interviews, and I think there's even a CAW video on there still, but I could be wrong. No? Okay. And you'll see some past interviews with Smojo, AJ Styles, Sean Waltman, and many, many more. And also the XMV reunion is up there as well. Parts 1 through 4.
It's one part.
As well. It's a one-part video now?
Yep.
That's right, because we got the whole account back. We can do that. Like I said, I can sit here and do this and waste time. I can waste 10 minutes, because we have longer than 10 minutes now. Ha! The full XMV reunion up for the first time ever on youtube.com/NoDQCAW. That was myself, Josh, Mike, and Lee. Don't call me Stagger. Around a round table with my 2 championship belts here before they got ruined. I'll tell you about that another time. One of my belts lost the rubies. Very depressing. And it was really cool. It was really fun to talk about the last 10 years of professional wrestling, from 98 to 2008, the history of themayhem.com, www.com, nodq.com. Check that out. If you haven't commented on it yet, go do it. It'll make Aaron's day, I promise. And with that, I'm going to wrap up Talk Wrestling number 47. We'll see you next time for number 48. And Aaron's going to wait till I stop talking and keep running the camera again. Just like he does every week. You're going to bring that gimmick back, really? Okay, just checking. Come on. Stop filming. Ow.